I made 75% profit this morning trading SPY call options. And if you've been following my recent videos, you know that this is the easiest thing I've ever done. All my losses are really easy and all my wins are really easy. So when you see a high percentage, it's really, really cool. If you don't know my strategy right now, I'll explain it pretty quickly. I collect data over the past 160 days, and I'm going to continue to collect data to make this more accurate. But I've been putting it all together and putting it into a pivot chart, and it gives me the probabilities of what the first 2 hours of the market's going to do, depending on pre-market positions for indicators, gaps, and stuff like that. And it tells me if the market's going to go up, if it's going to go down, if it's going to go flat based on probabilities. Now, here's the thing. There's a difference between probabilities and directions that's going to tell me directly. If it's going to tell me that there's a higher probability than flat than it is up, I don't take flat and just not trade immediately because there's a couple things that are into effect. One, Friday summers, always low volatility, probably flat. CPI days, really flat because everyone's bracing for the news. Earnings days for large companies like Apple, Microsoft, Google, those stay flat. Also outliers too. Dumps when a big company has bad earnings, it dumps. When CPI is really bad, it dumps. When Trump gets elected and puts tariffs on, it dumps. There's lots of outliers to be taken into account. That's why you want more data. So today we were gapped up above the VWAPs and above the EMAs, which means we had a 5 out of 6 chance to go up or flat. Since today was the Tuesday after a long Memorial Day weekend, I knew that there was going to be some pent up volume towards any direction somewhere. So I decided to take calls. Even though the calls to flat ratio was really bad in my favor, I still took it. Why? Well, because here's the thing. If it was a Wednesday or a Thursday and I was trading this, I probably would have been out in the first hour, because if you're going to go call flat, that means that the second half of flat must be down in order to make it flat. I'm yapping. I'm not really doing much good explaining, but hopefully I can get it through to some of you guys. But yeah, I day traded this morning and I didn't leave my bedroom. It was pretty lit. Made 75% profit doing absolutely nothing. Happy days. What do I got going on today? Well, today's a fun day because I'm going to a Mariners game, baby. Yep. Bruh. Yep, going to a Mariners game. Pretty lit. That's going to be later tonight. So I got a couple things to do in the daytime. It's 11:30 right now, so I got to get going. But obviously filming stuff for this. I already edited and uploaded the TikTok and Instagram. I already uploaded the TikTok and YouTube short for this morning's trade. Go ahead and watch that. Give it some love. Follow the socials. But I have a meeting at 3:45 that I got to go to for a summer camp that I'm helping at. And I just got to get a lot of things done. Bedroom's a mess. Got to run laundry. Adulting. It sucks. Even though I'm still in college, still kind of an adult. So gotta figure it out. And then I'm under caffeinated, so I'm going to go get coffee before I go to the meeting. So that's the move. All right. I'll see you guys hopefully at the Mariners game, and then I'll do a trade review at the end of the night just to show you guys, the full in-depth explanation of how I traded this morning. So yeah, peace. Alrighty, just got back from the Mariners game, pretty lit game, and we're gonna go over 2 days charts. We won the game 7-1. Cal Riley had 2 home runs. It was lit, and yeah, I actually realized that the data set that I had was missing 2 days worth of data, and both of them were up, and both of those pieces of data were up datas. So let's just say I was statistically marginally unlucky. No, I was statistically marginally missing data that gave me confidence on my plays today, even though either way, whatever, it doesn't matter. We're going to go over this. So gapped up, was above both EMAs and above VWAPs, and it was a 4-day Memorial weekend. So there was definitely going to be a play made. I wasn't going to not trade. Wasn't going to say, oh, volatility's not there. No, volatility was definitely there, and it probably will be until Thursday. Friday during the summers are usually pretty dead, so we're gonna take the flat day if it does end up being flat. Looking at the probabilities that it gave us for, let's see here, now that we put in that data, we're sitting at this chart right here. Not really a good looking chart, but we go off of it no matter what, so yeah. So gapped up and was above all the EMAs and VWAP, which led us to this far right column where it shows 10 green days, 6 red days, and then 27 flat days. Where those 27 flat days came from, I'm not too sure, but because we're coming back from a 4-day Memorial weekend, we are going to take the calls, which are shown a lot more favor than puts. So we took them, and contracts ended up moving up 75% generally. If you bought like a couple minutes before open or a couple minutes after open, you probably would have netted yourself a little bit more, because first like 10 minutes of the market ended up going down, so contracts were cheaper. So if you ended up being late, you probably had a little bit more, maybe 80 to 100%. If you got in right at the open, you're probably looking at 75% to 60%. Either way, profit is profit, and happy days. Going over the whole entire database as a whole, it's looking really good. There's currently 161 trading days worth of data. Tomorrow I have a lot of homework to do in class to do and a lot of work to do, so I'm not going to be able to work on entering data, but I need to be taking days out of my week to add in 30 days. Just being able to add in those days really helps the accuracy of this data set and the probabilities that it gives me, because as of right now, I'm not even at a year's worth of trading data. There's 250 something trading days of the week. There's like 250 something trading days in a year, and I only have 160, so not even a year's worth of data. And so the data that I also have is really outlier filled. There was an election, there was a lot of scandals, big up and down swings, and so I feel like the accuracy of it is not as where I want it to be. So I need to be taking time out of my day to actually do data entry. Earliest day I have on this is October 2nd of 2024. And so I just keep on adding it. I'll enter in 30 blank gaps and I'll just fill them in. How's that go? I ended up adding a new chart. It's the 2-hour volatility range. And basically I want to find a way to also give myself probabilities for volatility, and what are the odds I actually get this volatility. And I think it was going to turn out well. So yeah, that's basically it for the day. Trading's going well. One thing I'm really struggling with right now is actually waking up on time and taking the trade, because I'm not being disciplined enough for that, and I need to be on it. So that's going to require probably remembering to set my alarm and going to bed earlier, because if I can naturally wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, I should be able to, and that would just be really nice to not be able to rely on alarm. But other than that, that's the YouTube video. Progress is going really well, and if you've made it all the way to the end of this video, then you guys should totally follow all my short-term content socials, so TikTok and Instagram. I don't really post anything on Instagram. I want to, but I don't really feel like I have an audience for it out there, so we'll see. Other than that, I'll catch you guys. Peace.